What's up, guys? This is John. I haven't been on here in a long time. I just wanted to give you guys a little update. I got a new car. In the process of going from a couple different jobs, uh, I also got a new car, and I wanted to talk about that because actually, this is not my first car purchase recently. As a matter of fact, the car that I have in my lot right now, in my driveway right now, is actually the fourth car that I've had in the last 14 months. So, and I haven't really talked about anything recently about my car situation. So I'm just going to tell you my little car story. So first of all, about 2002 or so, more than a decade and a half ago or so, or more than a decade ago, my father purchased a Toyota Echo, and it was a fairly adored little commuter car in the family. My dad loved it. I loved it. It fit the bill so well of just being a good little commuter car, and I meanwhile was driving a Ford Escort station wagon like 1990 or 2000. No, it was like 1992 or something like that. So it was like really, really old, and it was falling apart. And so I moved out here to Arizona, and it had died pretty much. It was dead. Might have been 91. Anyway, it was dead. Like the transmission was out, and it was worth crap. I sold it on eBay for like $81. So in the situation, I had to get to work, so I decided to drive or rent a car to drive back to California and asked my dad, would you be willing to sell me your car since he wasn't working at the time. So he was willing, and I was there with him as he went and bought a new car to replace it with his own money, and then I would be making payments to him to buy the Echo, the Toyota Echo. I love this little Echo, and what happened was about 14 months ago or so, I went to Sonic and got myself a burger, came back, had my hand in the bag, grabbing fries or something, and I was just looking around. I wasn't paying attention to my smartphone. I was just looking around, and after like 30 seconds of reaching it, I plowed right into some big handicapped / elderly person van. It was the dumbest, most stupid car wreck anybody could have ever witnessed. That was my first wreck I've ever had in my entire life. It will hopefully be the last wreck I will ever have in my entire life. But that's what happened. I just literally plowed right into it. And my Echo was barely drivable. But it was such a barely usable condition. Like I had to get in from the passenger side, and I had to let it go. And I just obviously didn't feel safe driving on it, even though it was drivable. I didn't feel safe driving in it, so I didn't exactly go get it checked up. I just had to replace it. So the first thing I did was I bought a temporary set of wheels. This thing I just went to Craigslist and paid like $600. I just needed to get it back on the road so I could get to work, and this thing barely held together. I'm surprised it lasted as long as it did. I used it for about 2 months and put it back out on Craigslist for the same price that I bought it for. And so I just used it for 2 months and then put it right back out there. Had like 300,000 miles on it. It was an old beast. I was amazed that it held together. Anyway, then I decided, okay, let's go and buy a real, more permanent car, but a used car that I can afford, that I can be proud of myself for making a wise choice. So I chose to get a 2004 Honda Civic, but this one was special. This one was a Honda Civic Hybrid. So I thought I was hitting two birds with one stone in terms of wisdom. Like I thought I was being so wise, right? And not only is it a good Honda Civic, which is known to last forever and ever and ever, which is great, and I'm so proud of myself. I'm going the Honda Civic route, which is good. I'm also getting a hybrid, which is green. Yeah, the problem with that is After about 10 or 11 years, hybrids die. They've got this big, huge, gigantic. I didn't know this. Okay, they've got this big, huge, gigantic hybrid battery, and it sits in the back seat, behind the seat, and it sits there and rots away over time. And after about 11 years, it's pretty much garbage. And the cost to replace it is not like a 12 volt. It's not like you pay $99 to replace the battery and be on your way. No, no. If I went to Honda and to the dealership and asked them to replace it, we're talking pretty much about $5,000. Yeah, so I paid like 6,000, 7,000 or so for the whole car, and just a few months later, I'm looking at Kelley Blue Book, and it says it's worth about $1,200. And this is why, it goes down in value, because everybody's getting rid of this car because the battery has to be replaced. It would have been worth $6,000 or $7,000 still, value going up still, if only the hybrid battery was alive. But with a broken down hybrid battery, which costs $5,000, it's worth crap. So, so basically this hybrid, so let me show you this car. Okay, let's just go out and look at this car. So when I got this Honda Civic Hybrid, I was really proud of myself, and I also decided this is going to be a long-term investment for at least 2 or 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years until I'm going to wear it down to its end. And I was determined, and so the first thing I did, I modded out I decided to swap out the radio. I got that radio replaced. And I got this really nice Kenwood, at least for the money. It was really nice, like $150. So it was fairly inexpensive. But it supports Bluetooth, so I'm able to sync up my phone. I got set up a microphone in the car so I could talk to my mother or whoever I'm going to talk to on the phone, hands-free, and it's just a really, really nice setup here. And I was excited. And I'm a bit of a flashy dashboard kind of person. I like the flashy gauges. I like lots of blinking lights and that stuff. The whole complicated dashboard thing. I kind of enjoy those things. I don't know, because I'm a nerd. But what I didn't like seeing, and I got a clue during the sales process, that this thing. The engine light's on and the IMA lights is on, and they kept saying that they were going to fix it, but they didn't, and I still bought it, and I'm stupid. This thing is supposed to be going up. This thing is supposed to be showing fully charged or charging. This light is not supposed to be on. I've got the engine light on. I've got the IMA light on. This is a problem, and so here's the story on that. Here's where I wired up to charge up. I'll explain that in a minute here, but basically this thing is a hybrid. It's a hybrid car. It's not electrical, it's hybrid, and what it means in this case is that it's got this integrated motor assist, and all it means is that the car runs like a normal car, but the motor is, I guess, the horsepower is boosted by electric motors, and then that system is powered by your brakes. So when you brake, it charges the hybrid battery, and when you hit the gas, the regular gasoline engine, which is only 93 horsepower, is then boosted with an electric motor. And that's it. That's how it works. The one cap. So basically, you don't even need a hybrid battery at all. You don't need the hybrid system at all to run this car. It runs just like a regular Honda Civic without a hybrid. Without it being hybrid, it's just like a regular low horsepower, regular plain lawnmower hybrid. Regular Honda Civic. That's true in theory. The reality is that the 12 volt battery has no alternator. There's no alternator in this car. So what happens is you've got a motor that tries to charge the hybrid, with the motor and with the brakes, but the battery is dead on that, and so the 12 volt never gets charged. And when it does get charged, which I do, this is why I've got these clips on here, is because I'm charging it. So it basically kills the battery because it's getting drained completely and getting charged completely and getting drained completely, and then the charging. I've got a timer on it to make sure that it actually doesn't drain while it says it's full. So I basically have the whole thing turned off and then it turns back on and it retries to charge it. So while that works and keeps it charged, it kills the 12 volts. So I literally have like a 6-month lifespan, maybe less, maybe more like a 3-month lifespan on this 12 volt. And the 12 volt is officially pretty much as dead, if not more dead, than the hybrid at this point. I just replaced it maybe a half a year ago, maybe a little bit longer, but it's dead. I have had this car towed just like 2 or 3 weeks ago. The second to last time I drove this car, I had to get it towed home because the spark plugs run off, would have run off the battery, which is charged by an alternator, but there's no alternator, and the hybrid system charges it, and the hybrid system is dead. So, this being the case, I decided let's get a fourth car, and fourth car is going to replace this hybrid. Now, this hybrid car, this Honda Civic Hybrid, I had to get this thing financed. I don't have money to go out and buy a new used car. So I had to get this financed. I've got terrible credit, so I'm paying like 20% interest practically on this stupid hybrid. I'm still owe money on it. So I still owe a huge loan on this stupid hybrid that it's worth only $1,200, but right now my debt is something like $3,200, which is horrible. Just having such a useless collateral in my driveway. Anyway, so I was worried about, if I go out and get yet another car, am I going to have a problem? No, I did not have a problem. I decided I want to make sure I get a car that is reliable, something I can have fun with, something that I'm proud to drive, something that's going to last a long time, as long if not more than the Echo, and something that matches my capacity as a software developer, which is my day job. I'm not made of a lot of money, but I do make enough money that I know that I can get frankly a really, really decent consumer car. No, I'm not going to get a Mercedes or a BMW, but I definitely want something better than a Toyota Echo. And I dare say I think I want to get something new instead of used, because this being my fourth car in 14 months, I want a good car. So, what did I do? I got me a car I like. Let's take a look. I got me a 2016 Subaru WRX. Wow. This thing is a monster. It's a monster in terms of how amazing it is. It's just an amazing car. And literally, I'm scouring the internet trying to find the best car money can buy in terms of value. Just raw value, like how much car can I get for the dollar if I'm going to buy new. Nothing compares to this thing. It's got like 5-star rating, 5-star safety rating. It's got some of the best performance in any car in any class. Frankly, it performs better in terms of torque, better than a lot of BMWs. It's got a price tag that keeps it down in the top end of the bottom consumer market. In other words, it's less than $30,000. Um, and it's spacious and it's comfortable. And it's got features that I didn't have in the Toyota Echo, but I did enjoy in the Honda Civic Hybrid, including Bluetooth. I only got the base, so I did not get the navigation, but because I have Bluetooth, it doesn't really matter because I can mount my cell phone and have the Bluetooth going, so I can hear the Bluetooth. I've got my touchscreen on the cell phone. Now, listen, I did not just go out and say I'm going to go buy a new car. What's nice? Oh, what about a WRX? Let's go get that. Not really. I had been staring at the WRX through the internet, like through YouTube and all of these other sources, for a number of months. It took me a while because initially I was thinking about the Mazda 3, Mazda 3 being the highest rated consumer car, at least on a compact economy car. And it supposedly performed fairly well. It was supposedly comfortable. It looked beautiful. I was excited to get a Mazda 3, but I started seeing there's reviews, and I was also thinking about when I was younger. I used to have this Nissan 200SX, and I that thing motivated me to get out on the road. I remember taking California Highway 1 and just driving around, driving up and down, at least one big trip down to see my parents. I loved that trip. That was fun, and I wanted to do something like that again. I thoroughly enjoyed doing that because I had a sporty car that had a decent engine in it. So I started thinking about, okay, Mazda 3 is decent, but I'd like a more interesting engine in a car, an absolute minimum of a couple liters, which I guess the Mazda 3 does have, but I was looking at other options, and among the options, I was looking at the WRX, and I saw the reviews here on YouTube, and I was reading the written articles, written reviews, and everybody was saying that this thing is phenomenal. It's just it is the car to want, and I mean on every level. Safety, speed, performance, comfort, just the perfect compromise, and most importantly, the best value for the money, because apparently this thing it was the perfect compromises to make this thing perform and hold together and be reliable, maintainable, and safe, all for the perfect price tag, where it's comparing its performance to a more high-end vehicle, high-end luxury type vehicle or performance vehicle. Actually, it's a race car, so it compares to like a Porsche or one of these other high-end cars, an Audi A4, something like that. And it's got a few less luxury features, but still luxury features enough to make it very interesting and comfortable to use, like the infotainment system. Again, my car does not have navigation on it. It's just the base, but I will probably eventually replace the infotainment system when I also replace the speaker system. The speaker system is not that great, but that's not why I bought the car. I bought the car because I need to get on the road. I want to enjoy driving around. I wanted to be able to do road trips and be motivated to do that. And on top of all that, and I also got this dash cam. So the dash cam lets me record stuff as I drive. So if anything interesting happens, I'll have that on camera. That's fun. Well, it's not just fun, it's also useful. So it could come in handy if a situation happens, beyond the fun. This thing does consume a lot of gas. It's not as good on fuel economy as, say, the Mazda 3, which I had been looking at. So as much as I want to drive this car, I'm less motivated than I want to be. I don't want to blow so much money just on gas. So what I decided to do was try to justify the gas money by being a Lyft driver. So I've filled out I've done the application and training for Lyft, and I'm about to start doing Lyft driving. And again, this is just purely as an excuse to get out and drive this wonderful car. So, 2016 Subaru WRX. I'm new to the Subaru family. It turns out it is a family. There's unlike a Honda, unlike a Toyota, there's not a lot of Subaru owners, and so those who do buy a Subaru, they've got the Subi wave. Like if they see a Subaru, they will, you know, wave each other down. They'll take pictures. I'm on a Facebook group for Subaru owners, where they're literally like people are posting, spotted at Indian School and 64th Street. They take a picture of some WRX or some other Subaru that happens to be a Subaru, and just because it's there, they take a picture and post it on. It's funny. I actually, what's even more amazing, I myself, I look in my rearview mirror, just 1 week into owning my WRX. I get on the freeway, I look in my rearview mirror, and I see what looks like a slightly older version of my car. Same color, same beautiful blue. And I'm like, that's a Subaru, isn't it? I'm not sure. Maybe. And then I see a hand stick out of the window. And they're waving to me with a peace sign as they take off down the off ramp. And I'm like, oh my gosh, my first Subi wave. Hi, nice car. So they didn't see me, but I got on Facebook and I told the story, and I said exactly what I just said. I said I saw this car in my rearview mirror, and it looked the same beautiful color of blue as my car, and then they waved, and I'm like, they didn't see me wave, but I just so you know, I waved, and nice car. That person saw this post on Facebook and replied and said, yeah, that was me. I was the one who waved at you. And it turned out to be, I kept saying he, but it turned out to be a she. But she had seen my car and she waved. She didn't think that I saw, because she said that she was taking the exit. So that is actually her story. That is amazing. And I'm in the Phoenix metro. This place is huge. There's millions of people out here. So that's how small the community is for Subaru. It's crazy. It's crazy. So that is the real true story. I've taken my car out for a little fun driving because it's a rally car. It's a rally racer, which means that it's really intended for pushing it beyond regular asphalt. So I've taken it out just once, out to Apache Trail. I did it at night, and I got this footage here. And that thing, I tell you what, that trip, that little drive going from Theodore Roosevelt Lake down to Phoenix made me incredibly nauseous. Which is, in a sense, a good thing. It's a proof that I've got an amazing car that's a lot of fun to drive, and it makes driving on, like that out in the boonies, on off-road, windy roads like that, like a roller coaster ride, and it will get you sick. But I had just eaten a big burger meal, and I was genuinely ill. So I've only done that once. I'm trying to figure out how to get more involved with the community. I'm actually now I'm developing into a Subaru /WRX /race car enthusiast, which means that also that everyone's asking or talking about modding their cars. I'm not going to do a lot of mods, but eventually I will. Up front, I'm not going to, because I want to enjoy the base thing, because this thing is amazing as it is. But it's amazing. I mean, the Subaru WRX, the base version is amazing. Coming from a Honda Civic Hybrid with 93 horsepower, yeah, it's amazing. It's like incredible. It's like climbing into a Lamborghini compared to. Anyway, it's crazy. So I have no need to do any modding right now, but maybe in a number of months, I might add some I guess, what do you call it, class 1 or whatever modding, the cob kit. I guess there's a cob kit that you can get beyond just the digital brain or whatever for the engine. There's some kitting that you can do to make it the first level of modding the actual engine physically. And I was thinking about doing something like that. There's other mods that people say that that you should do. I'm going to think about those. But among the other mods I want to do, I still want to, because I enjoy good quality sound. I want to get good quality sound in my car. One complaint that I have about this WRX, with it, since nothing is perfect, this thing is performance oriented. It's not luxury oriented, and that's a good thing for its target audience. But it's not a good thing for what I originally intended to buy, which is just mainly a commuter car to get to work and enjoy myself and feel good about my soul. So, and the issue is that it has a lot of road noise. It's just very road noisy. You can hear just the rattle of the tires taking. It's not really rattle, but it's just you can hear the tires over every little rock in the asphalt. So, I don't know what to do about that. I am thinking about getting Dynamat and filling the whole car with Dynamat. I'm thinking, I don't know what I'm going to do about that. I don't know that I want to. I know that there's actually some noise reduction tires that you can get for this car. I don't remember the name. I did look it up. Firestone provides one model of tire that is actually good for bringing down the road noise. However, so the reason why I don't know that I want to do that is because it would be a compromise on the performance aspect of my amazing tires that come with the WRX. So, because honestly, the base model of the WRX comes with some amazing racing performance tires that honestly I can take any turn, and I just turn, and it's like there's no skidding, there's nothing, there's no slowing down. I just turn. It's crazy, and it's like, where's this car been all my life? This car is amazing. It's amazing. Like I can just see myself in a rally road race. Going through mountains and hills and whatever, and just having a blast, and just taking everything. And then when I was doing that night thing, it was taking those, even the pebbles and rocks and all that stuff, just fine. I mean, there was a little bit of slippage, as there would be, but it was all fully controlled. Like, it was under full control of this amazing all-wheel drive system. This thing has traction control on it, so that if one of the wheels goes loose, the other tires take more control. It's just crazy. I've been living in sort of the dark ages when it comes to car mechanics, technology, whatever. A 2002 Toyota Echo, which is fine for its purpose, is just nothing compared to what a WRX can do. Yes, it gets me from point A to point B. Yes, it has a speedometer, and so it shows me. And there's a key that you can turn it on, and there's an engine. It's a multi-cylinder engine that churns. I mean, even that is different. Like with the boxer engine on the Subaru WRX, with these cylinders going, facing each other and going this way instead of this way. That's just weird. It's all different. Everything is different on this thing. So suddenly I have an interest in cars, obviously, and I don't want it to be an expensive interest or hobby beyond the payments I'm making on the car. Not until I'm further along in bringing down the loan, so that if something were to happen, or like if I'm in a bind, I can sell the car off, and I didn't waste a lot of money on mods, or breaking things and voiding my warranty because I modded things. I just want to enjoy what I have and understand what it does, understand understand the amazingness of the thing. So I don't know what to say beyond. I'm excited, and I will say, if you're looking for a car, do some homework. I did do some homework, and that's how I ended up with this thing. I was looking for something sporty, something that made me comfortable but proud, and I'm proud to I guess I'm 38 years old, and I've been in a career in a software development for a good long while. Wanted something that made me feel less crappy about myself. I needed something for my soul, something that made me feel a little bit more worth something, I guess. I don't recommend you being in that situation, but after so many years of going through hell, and I'm not getting to that right now, but it's just enough to say that after this being my fourth car, I wanted it to be a ridiculously good car, and that's exactly what I got. It is more expensive for that reason. I mean, I could have easily spent 10 grand less to get in a more comfortable, more semi-luxurious car, but doesn't mean I'm not very proud of and happy with the decision I made. I have absolutely zero regrets, not a single regret. I'm just looking forward to owning this thing, and I'm gonna make my payments and pay off early as I can, and then I'm gonna mod it out. I'm gonna check it out and keep having fun with it. So anyway, that's my update. If you see me posting more, it's probably gonna be relating to the car. I mean, it's probably gonna be either me going out and exploring again, enjoying my road trips or whatever, or perhaps even getting to the point where I'm actually willing to start modding my car after all. So we'll see what happens. That's a long video, guys. Sorry. Talk to you guys later. Cheers.